These are the stories
My little girl, she's changing lives just by being herself.
of organizations and people making a difference.
When you first tell someone about adaptive wheelchair boxing, it doesn't sound real.
And empowering others.
It saved my life. It saved my life.
Across Canada.
I scored my first goal in my first blind hockey game.
In our community.
One thing that is unbelievable about disabled golf, ParaGolf, amputee golf, is the camaraderie that comes out of the group. I fell out of a boat when I was 6 years old, went over the nose of our family boat, and I went under the boat and the propeller took it off. It didn't take it clean off. They tried to save it initially, and I spent 29 days in Sick Kids in Toronto, and unfortunately they had to amputate after a few tough surgeries. I kind of went back to sports almost immediately. I couldn't wait to get on a prosthetic and just get back to life, and I've always been an athletic person. Baseball was my love till I was about 12, and then transitioned, played a lot of basketball, and fell in love with golf in high school, and yeah, the rest is history, I guess. My name's Josh Williams. I've been competing in disabled golf for about 20 years. I love that there's so many aspects to the sport that can never be perfected. You can never hit a perfect shot every time. You can always hone the skill, and I also like that it's a sport that your opponents can't directly affect your results.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Only when the cameras are on them, right?
It's you against the golf course, and everyone's playing on the same field, and it's just a matter of who can overcome it that day, and it's not a matter of refereeing or a matter of your teammates or kind of coming together. It's you and the golf course and just trying to figure out how to put it all together.
Kevin Delaney, describe myself as a pretty active guy. Grew up playing competitive hockey most of my life, but now that I'm in my 40s, decided to take up a new challenge and take on golf. Like most Canadian kids, I grew up playing hockey and played able-bodied hockey throughout my whole life, and then ended up playing with the national amputee team, where we won 6 world championships. And so that kind of just fed my desire to keep playing competitive sport at any level, and fell in love with golf, largely due to my dad. Just totally understand the addiction now.
Okay, give me a couple practice swings. Let's see what's going on. So again, so I don't want you swinging along with the chair. I want you swinging out a little bit. Yes.
So my name's Todd Kierstead. I'm a Canadian PGA professional. I've had the privilege of traveling around the world over the last 20 years, helping raise millions of dollars for charity, doing trick shots, long drive stuff. So back in 2014, I was doing a trick shot demonstration for a veterans hospital outside of Tampa, Florida, and I had a bunch of veterans that were around me, utilizing the game of golf as a rehabilitation therapeutic program. I started hitting some shots that I've been doing for years, and it immediately turned the light bulb on to me that maybe this wasn't entertainment anymore. This was motivating and inspiring, because a lot of the shots I was hitting that I thought was for entertainment was emulating the situation that a lot of these war veterans are in. And it turned the light bulb on immediately on for me, because it showed me that I was actually able to use the game of golf as a form of rehabilitation for these individuals. So then the first thing I realized, there was no program, no real adaptive golf program in Canada. So I came back up to Canada, I started an adaptive golf program, and it's grown by leaps and bounds. Now it's blossomed into a national program called ParaGolf Canada, and it's doing that. It's giving people the opportunity either to play the game of golf at a grassroots level all the way to a national team.
My name's Gerald Brandt. I'm the president of ParaGolf Ontario. I have a passion for golf. Always had a passion for golf, even before I became disabled.
In 2013, Jerry was in a snowmobile accident, which resulted in him losing a third of his foot.
I just did a Google search and found out about amputee golf, found out ParaGolf existed, and I phoned them. And they welcomed me with open arms, and I've been there ever since. I'd like to pass on the golf game to the younger generation. And now that the Paralympics and disabled is going to be happening in the very near future, it's ParaGolf's ambition to try and get the junior program working, which we started on this year with Todd Kierstead, and to perhaps bringing on athletes of the future. And I enjoy the organization, I enjoy the people, and I enjoy doing it. It's part of my volunteerism and part of me giving back. Pay it forward. Today's events is the Oshawa. It's supposed to be our Ontario Open, where we invite guests and we invite people to play.
In addition to the tournament, there's a day where players can get some golf instruction from the experts.
Right off the instep of your front foot. Take a half a step back away from the ball. There you go. That looks better. Just give yourself a little bit of space there. That looks really good. That was so close, buddy. You're right there.
So Josh Williams is an incredible young man. You know, I've had the privilege of spending a lot of time with him. He's an incredible golfer. He's won national titles all over the world, has competed representing Canada all over the world. And not only can he play the game incredibly well, but he's a great ambassador to the game. Anybody who comes in contact with him being introduced to the game of golf not only can see what they can accomplish by watching him hit golf balls, but the amount of empathy that comes out of him, it just welcomes everybody in, and he's such a great individual to be an ambassador to the sport of ParaGolf in Canada.
Because what I think you're doing is you're trying to help it up. We want to hit the ball high in the air, but it's actually, this game is a counterintuitive game. It's a funny game because if I swing to the right, ball goes left. If I swing, and you see how my divot's now pointed this way, but the ball went that way. Vice versa, if I swing to the left, ball's gonna curve to the right, right?
Josh was trying to get me to keep things consistent. So right now, while I am striking the ball pretty consistently, I'm not hitting it always the way I want to, so sometimes it's fat, thin. He's just trying to get me a bit more consistent, which is necessary. My name's Stuart, and I've been playing adaptive golf for around a year. I started with golf when I was really young. It was kind of an extension of hockey. I ended up working at a golf course for a few years in my teens, and then it sort of petered out for a while. And then when my accident happened, my brother had been just starting to play, so we had been doing that, and my team introduced me to Todd, and that's what really got the ball rolling with golf.
3 here in a row all look about the same, right? So now if I can just do that same thing with the ball in the way, and look, I just repeated that 4 times in a row.
I was riding one motorcycle, it was a nice Harley, and I was hit head-on by a drunk driver, and he left me in the ditch. I sustained a above-knee amputation, as well as several fractures to my left humerus and a dislocation. It's something that I can do. I didn't particularly enjoy it before, but it's something that I can do with my abilities now, so I'm really enjoying it. It's giving me a sense of accomplishment, and that's really helpful right now. ParaGolf has been great. It's been amazing working with the team and having them help me out and get the couple lessons that we've had.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
On behalf of the Oshawa Golf and Curling Club, we're really excited to be hosting the 2021 Ontario ParaGolf Championships. From our club community to the parasport community, welcome. I'm Mike Rideout, GM, COO of Oshawa Golf and Curling Club. We're set in an urban environment. The club was founded in 1906, and it really is a gem that a lot of folks just don't come upon easily because of the urban atmosphere. ParaGolf Ontario and our relationship is really important. We were really excited last year to be able to step up during COVID to be able to host the Parasport Pro-Am. And then being asked again this year to host the 2021 Ontario ParaGolf Championships was really exciting to us. We're about inclusivity. That's really important to our club. But we're really a club that actually welcomes all sections of golf, and that's really important for us to be able to let everyone know that and be aware.
Can't ask for a better course. It's ParaGolf friendly for a lot of our members. We'd like to keep coming here forever.
Today is competition day here at Oshawa Golf and Curling Club for the ParaGolf Ontario event. I feel good. I got to see the course yesterday for the first time, just playing my own ball. I played it last year in a scramble, so kind of different mindset when you're playing your own golf ball. Got a good strategy, I think, for the golf course, and just hoping to keep it in the fairway and on the greens. I feel fairly confident. Anytime you can get some tournament reps in, it's always good experience. First competitive round of the year, so we'll see how it goes.
Now on the tee from Kitchener, Josh Williams. Kevin Delaney.
I'm such a competitive person that when I decide to really set my mind and be good at something, I tend to really obsess over it and put in that time. When it comes to being good at anything in life, I think most people know that it's a matter of effort and not only putting in the time, but quality of practice and quality of honing your skills. One of the hardest things as a leg amputee playing golf is to maintain your balance when you have a severe slope, especially particularly uphill, or when the ball's below your feet. So for me, I'm always on a leg that's very multi-purposed. My leg right now is kind of designed off of the sprinting feet that I used to run on, and now it's kind of been made into an all-purpose leg. Being a multi-sport athlete, I was decent at the game when I took it up in grade 10 when I was 15. I was kind of always breaking 100 at my local club. But I was an 80s golfer for a long time, and into probably my early 20s until I kind of set a goal I think it was in 2008, that I wanted to become a scratch golfer, which means you kind of average shooting even par. Not every time, but based on the mathematics of the net system. So I set a 5-year goal to do that in 2008. It took me about 3.5 years. So I won my first Canadian title in 2011. And just from there, once you break through, it's kind of like a lot of athletes. Once you get the first one off your back, they kind of just come a bit easier. And I was able to win a few more over the next couple of years.
So it's going all the way from a grassroots development program, so introducing the game of golf to individuals who might not have ever thought they could ever play the game of golf or play the game of golf again after whatever happened to them, all the way to a national program. If the Paralympics introduce golf as a sport, we already have a team of the best adaptive golfers in Canada. So we already have it, Team Canada. It's incredible. The skill that these guys possess, it's amazing. Josh, he's been playing for a lot of years, but didn't find the support in the game. I think when he found out what my goal was, what my dreams were of trying to grow this sport on a national level, I think it lit the fire back up inside of him, and now he's back playing, competing, practicing. He's probably one of the best adaptive golfers in the world.
I don't know, just one thing kind of led to another, and ended up building this particular prosthetic with the help of a couple of friends of mine and my prosthetist back home, which has got me out here playing. I think what we tried to do here is just replicate the human body, how there's obviously a wrist and a hand that grabs the club. You have the end of the attachment that grabs the club, and being that it's beveled, it won't come out. And then got this hydraulic hose that flexes like a wrist, and then it's all plugged into, let's say, this strap that it won't go anywhere. So just kind of, reduplicating an arm and a wrist if you can. I'd like to shoot in the mid-80s. That would be a nice score for me. But anything under 90, I'm very happy with. So yeah, but that's what golf is about. It challenges you and try to stay in the right frame of mind. For me, I'm just looking to play my game. Not trying to beat anybody out here. Just trying to, play my best game.
You want a repeatable shot. So if your shot is that little fade, that's okay to play then, right? Because what you then do is, if you know your ball's always going to curve to the left, you can aim, like if you take this driving range, for example, you can just start the ball at that right red flag, and then that opens up the whole golf course to you, right? Yeah, absolutely, right? But it's okay to be a little open. Let's see you hit another 7-iron here. One thing you'll find just about every good ball striker does is takes a divot, particularly with an iron. So what's important is when you deliver the energy of the golf club, that we're delivering it down and into the earth, right? So you should feel like you're delivering that energy. You want to make a nice shallow divot about the size of a dollar bill would be ideal, like this. The trick is to make sure your golf ball is at the start of where your divot is. So that's a great drill.
This is my very first ParaGolf tournament, and I am very looking forward to it. I'm extremely nervous, but I'm very excited and got little energy tingles flowing through me, so I'm looking forward to it. Right now, I'm probably shooting 20 over easily, which is it's a very beginner. I would say I'm beginner. A little shy of the woods and the driver. ParaGolf has given me a chance to feel as though I'm actually accomplishing something and doing something well. And it's hard, but it's similar to my recovery phase. It's up and down, and it's showing me that we are moving forward, even when we think we're not. So the ParaGolf community is great. It's really eclectic and open. It includes a lot of people, and I've met people that I would never have met otherwise, and it's nice.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
Tournament days is always fun and exciting. Got up, had some breakfast, did some yoga, try to loosen up a little bit here. Just try to get in the right frame of mind, but in the end, it's just golf. Once you get out past the first hole or second hole, it just turns into another round and just having fun out there. Too much run.
So I've had the privilege of working with Kevin Delaney a couple times, and he's got the mental fortitude to actually make this thing happen. With being an arm deficiency individual, he's playing some great golf as an arm amputee, and it's inspiring to other arm amputees to see what can be done out on the golf course, and again, another great ambassador to the sport of ParaGolf. The future of ParaGolf, hopefully we're going to be included in the Paralympics in a couple years, and I think when that happens, we're going to blow this thing up. It's already going out there nationwide. We have programs all across the country, but I think when it becomes a parasport in the Paralympics, it's then going to be finally recognized as a sport that anybody can play. Sport of golf just brings everybody together, so it doesn't matter if you're missing a leg, if you're missing an arm, if you're in a seated position, if you've recently had a stroke. The game is what brings people together, and it's a powerful sport that anybody can play.
Don't go in. Didn't hit the ball well, the wind was hard to negotiate, and tough pin placements today. So not very pleased with how it went, but it's over and we had fun, and that's what matters.
It was challenging. It was a fun, great camaraderie, great time. You know, would have liked to play it a little better, but hey, tournament golf.
The golf was interesting, but it was really enjoyable. I haven't had this much fun playing golf, and it was because of the people that we were with, so that was very nice.
Hit the ball great yesterday and just didn't have it today. Got into some bad spots and just kind of was on a bogey streak there for a little while. It was unfortunate.
At the end of the day, the results were in. Josh tied for second place. Kevin came in 6th place, and Stuart got it closest to the pin award. But this is only a small part of the story. More important than the final standings is the experience they all shared. ParaGolf allows amputees and people with disabilities to get outside for fun, fitness, and competition.
And don't ever be limited by your limitations. You know, you're only defined by you know, what you won't try. So for me, there is no limitations. Just get out there and play. I mean, golf is a great sport to meet new people and gain great experience and learn a lot about yourself too. I mean, golf is a great challenging game and the game of life as well.
Anyone thinking about doing it, just go try it somewhere. Go to a driving range, go hit a few balls. Nothing's really stopping you. Everyone out here showed me today that even in my stuff, the excuses that I have aren't applicable. So they're not. It's just your choice.
We come together for a love of the game, and the beauty of it is not everyone there has a chance to win the tournament. But that doesn't prevent anyone from wanting to come back and wanting to come and play and be part of the group. When we get together after a round and we all talk about, you know, our troubles on the course that day, as golfers do, I've never heard one disabled player ever complain about their disability being what cost them that day. You know, it's never like, oh, if I just had 2 arms, or if I just had, you know, better vision, or if I just didn't have that, you know, stroke, or whatever it may be. It's always, oh, if I could just putt, or if I could just get my driver. So it's infectious in a way that, I don't know, I've never experienced in any other competitive sport. But when it comes to disabled golf, it's a group atmosphere that we all share experiences, and we get to talk, and that's almost what's more enticing than the hardware. I mean, I've got boxes and boxes of trophies at home that really don't mean anything to me. It's the groups and the people that mean more to me than anything.
Producer-director Nick Appleton, story producer Julia Lee, writer-editor Nick Appleton, camera operators Daniel Mason, Nick Appleton, camera assistant Mike Greggain, development producer Julia Lee, location audio Mike Myrden, sound mix Colin Caddies, narrator Jim Van Horne, integrated described video specialist Ron Rickford. Special thanks Oshawa Golf and Curling Club, content development specialist Karen Magee, coordinating producer Jennifer Johnson, director production Cara Nye, director programming Brian Perdue, VP content development and programming John Melville, president and CEO David Arrington, dedicated to Eddie Urquhart, 1989 to 2021. Copyright 2021, AMI Accessible Media Inc.